The final is set. Mexico will be taking on Panama in the Nations League final. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed because I wanted them to play against the United States, really get that rematch, get that final, and get the vengeance that we've been looking for. Because they low-key own us, and it feels weird to not play them in the final. But I mean, the way they conceded a last-minute goal. Waterman, I think that's his name, the one that scored, runs over to Henry, gives him a hug, tells him he's his idol. It was scenes. I can't even blame him. Seeing it at the stadium myself, it was scenes. Even if the USA game was like entirely empty, but that's another conversation. So we get a repeat of the last Gold Cup final, Mexico-Panama. So I'm gonna tell you guys what I thought of Mexico versus Canada, how I thought the team performed, the lineup I would change, and obviously how I think the game's gonna go. Okay, so Mexico beat Canada 2-0, 2 goals from Raul Jimenez. He was the hero on the night, obviously, man of the match, all of that. But I feel like the scoreline kind of overshadows a mid-performance that Mexico put out, because we gotta be honest with ourselves, bro. The goals came from a rebound and a free kick. None of the goals were made out of like a spectacular like passing movement or like a good ball sent in. It was a rebound that landed right at Jimenez's feet. He finished it nicely. And then a great free kick from him. Honestly, it was amazing. I don't know when Raul Jimenez got this good at free kicks, bro. I think he decided that penalties were too easy and decided to step it up. But that one against the United States was a banger. This one was a banger. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like the 2-0 scoreline kind of overshadows the problems that were had with Mexico's lineup and play. Because it wasn't really like we dominated the game, Like, yeah, we went 1-0 up after the first minute. But Canada still had more passes. They still had more possession. And yeah, through spells of the game, it looked like they were going to equalize. Obviously didn't. But, it did look like it. They had their opportunities. The main one coming from the penalty claim. I don't think it was a penalty, but it's a claim. But the main talking point from this game is that El Vasco Aguirre finally decided to give it to us, bro. He played 2 strikers. And in this new system, obviously Mexico wasn't going to play some fluid football. Like, a lot of these players haven't played like this before for the national team, as one cohesive unit. But like on reset after the game, bro, the risk is in the reward, and it paid off on the day. And I think they should line up with Santi and Raul again. I feel like over time they'll get used to the role of playing with each other. And you can tell that Raul's a little bit more confident. He had more touches, he had more passes completed. Santi's the one that kind of needs to get used to a little more and be more of the poacher in this like situation. The tweaks I feel that needed to be made were you got to take out Charlie, you got to put in Chavez because he needs to send in more balls in through Jimenez. Because at the end of the day, Jimenez isn't going to be involved much in the build-up or anything. He needs the ball sent into him on goal. And I know I talk a lot of trash about Luis Chavez, how he lives off the free kicks, all that. But at the end of the day, he's the most creative midfielder we have to offer in this mid-ass midfield that we took. But he can still ping a ball from midfield. He can still be good at set pieces. And that is important to get Santi Jimenez involved in the game. We do need to play a little bit more towards Santi's strengths. First of all, he's terrible in the air. He is awful in the air. There's no way a dude with a head injury and Raul Jimenez should be that much better than Santi in the air. Like, Santi is atrocious in the air. But at the same time, like, you can't just keep sending him long balls, bro. You gotta play to his strengths. And Chavez can help with that. But yeah, other takeaways from the game, I thought that Edson Alvarez and Johan Vasquez played very well together. But Johan Vasquez has been quality in Serie A. Edson Alvarez also quality. A lot of questions of him starting at center back. But I feel like he did good. He did fine. There wasn't like too much for him to do. But I prefer that to Cesar Montes because Cesar Montes is garbage. But yeah, I thought the whole back line was good. Gallardo had some questionable touches, but you can just look over that. Israel Reyes, he did good. He did fine. Piojo Alvarado did a very good job of containing Alphonso Davies. He had great defensive work rates. And he really did impress after, many lackluster performances and lack of opportunities for the national team. But I feel like against Panama, you do need to make some changes to the team because I just feel like you need to be a little bit more offensive. Because it's not like we created much this game. Like, we need to be a little bit more offensive. And I feel like against Panama, they don't have an Alphonso Davies. They don't have a Jonathan David. You can risk a little more and not have to worry about getting beat on the breakaway by Alphonso Davies sprinting at you. Overall, with the performance, yes, it wasn't the most amazing footballing wise, but I saw a lot of hunger, a lot of passion. They felt like they needed to win this game, like Henry was saying. And after watching the United States play, I can't say the same for them, and I felt like Mexico just really wanted this one. And let's not forget, bro, people were saying that Canada could probably beat Mexico, so let's not take it as like, oh, we beat a team we were obviously going to beat. But yeah, they did a good job defensively. Attacking, I want to see a little more. Some games you're not going to create the most, and the 2 opportunities we had, we took them. And as for the penalty claim to Canada, that shit was not a penalty. I'm just going to leave it at that. So how would I line up Mexico for the game against Panama, the final, the big one to win the First Nations League? Obviously, you got to have Malagón in net. He's our number 1. He is the starting keeper. You don't replace him. Didn't really have much to do against Canada, but I mean, what are you going to do about that? At right back, I would have Rodrigo Huescas replacing Reyes just to be more offensive. Again, you can risk a little more this game, and I would like to see him get some minutes. Not that Reyes did bad or anything, but just see Huescas get a bit more minutes. Center back partnership, Cesar Montes is actually back from suspension this game. However, I would not start him. We're good, bro. We got Edson, we got Johan. If we were playing against the United States, maybe I would probably bring back Montes. But again, you can risk a little more with Panama. And that's not me overlooking them. I'm just saying, man, the quality in players that the USA has and the Panama has is not the same. Panama don't have any world-class players, bro. Arguably, neither does the United States, but Canada did, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can risk a little more than you did with Canada. But yeah, center back partnership, Edson Alvarez, Johan Vasquez, and left back, Jesus Gallardo. I feel like he did fine. Moving on, I would play a 4-4-2 because I obviously hadn't been mentioned because I just mentioned the back 4. And I'm telling you, I want to see a rain goal. So, in the midfield, you got Chavez, you got Lira. Lira can cover a lot of the defensive defensive work. You know, I thought he did good at times in the game against Canada. And then you got Luis Chavez next to him. I feel like he's going to provide a lot more creativity, better passing range than Charlie Rodriguez. And, you know, he can whip in a set piece. So, yeah, I'd start Luis Chavez. On the wings, this is where the offensive mentality kicks in. You got Chino Huerta, Julian Quiñones. I don't think Vega did that bad to be getting replaced by Julian, but, you know, I want to see what Julian looks like next to Santi and next to Raul Jimenez. And Chino Huerta, you know, just to be more offensive. I don't think Piojo did bad or anything, but that's all I really want. I just want to see goals. And up top, you obviously got Santi and Raul. No question about that. I know Santi hasn't really played with another striker before, so it's going to take him a couple games to get used to this. But as for what I want to see in the game in general, I just want to see better attacking movements. Getting Santi Jimenez a bit more involved, a bit more with his head in front to goal as opposed to back to goal, because holding up the ball, he's horrible. There's a lot of stuff Santi needs to work on. I'm not a Santi hater. He's good at what he does, but he also needs to learn to do other things. But we also have to play to his strengths, which is why I put Chavez in there. And hopefully Raul can facilitate a little more, you know, take some pressure off of him. But yeah, man, as for the prediction, I'm going to go 3-0 Mexico. I will be at the game at SoFi Stadium. Yeah, man, this video is dropping basically the morning of. But yeah, man, as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and peace out.